Bitcoin's price is on a knife's edge, and with the fear and uncertainty in this market, I thoroughly believe that the economic data that we're going to get slammed with over the next couple weeks is going to have the biggest impact on what direction this market goes in the near distant future, as we got a glimpse of today. And that's what I wanted to make a video about and kind of explain the price action that we went through today and exactly why it happened the way it did. All right, guys, one of the key pieces of data that we got today was the report from the FOMC minutes. And this was a very anticipated report, in my opinion, due to the way that the last meeting in October was left off, with Powell saying that a December rate cut was not baked in, and there was a lot of division in the Fed on the path the Fed should take going forward with monetary policy. And I believe the market was hoping that the Fed could give some clarity on what they plan to do going forward. And we got the complete opposite of that. And you can see right here, the market instantly reacted negatively to this report shortly after. We went from about 92 and some change all the way down to 88.5. And the reason that happened is because the Fed showed that they were very split on how they want to handle their monetary policy going forward. It seemed like overall they agreed more rate cuts should come, but it seemed like the majority of the governors felt that a rate cut in December was inappropriate, citing risks of entrenching inflation and eroding public trust in the Fed's credibility. As you guys have known, with the last CPI report, the inflation didn't tick up as much, but it still ticked up. It's still at 3%, and that's a whole percent over the 2% goal that the Fed wants to be at. And during the government shutdown, it also came out that the labor market wasn't weakening as much as they had been seeing over the prior couple months. And both of those things combined, give the Fed the idea that maybe they should wait for continued rate cuts so they don't spike inflation and just drive up the prices of things again. And you can see right here the hawkish tone from the Fed in this minutes report reduced the December rate cut odds to 30%. And it was sitting at about a coin flip 50 to 58% before this meeting happened. And as time goes on, it seems like this percentage is going down more and more and more, leading most people to believe that at the next meeting, the Fed is going to fold their hands and wait for more economic data to be released, which is going to play a huge factor because we've now actually discovered that some of the economic data from the months that the government was shut down is actually not going to be released until after the next meeting, which I'm going to get into right here. And to go hand in hand with the FOMC minutes report today, the Labor Department also said that it will not be releasing a full jobs report for October because of the federal government shutdown. Instead, it will release some of the October jobs data, most importantly, the number of jobs that employers created last month, along with the full November jobs report, now due a couple weeks late on December 16th. And this is going to make it so easy for Jerome Powell to fold his arms and say, we just don't have the data to make a proper decision. Therefore, we're going to keep rates where they are and wait for more data to be released. With the Fed split on if rates should be cut, with them saying at the last meeting that they need all the data to be able to make the right decision, with the labor market coming out as not as weak as it has seemed in prior months, and with inflation still ticking up, I believe this is going to be the easiest excuse and way out to just say we're pausing for now, and when we get more data, we'll decide what the best option is going forward. And that's what also contributed to the market going down. And that's why at this point there's only a 30% chance that the Fed will actually make a cut on the December 10th meeting. With all that being said, we are supposed to get an initial jobless claims report tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning, and I firmly believe the market will have a strong reaction to this due to us now knowing that the Fed is going to have very limited amount of job data to go off of to make their decision at the next meeting. So the outcome of this report, whether it shows that the labor market is weakening or it's showing strength, is going to have a huge impact on what the Fed decides to do at their next meeting. Even with all that bad news, there was a savings grace, and that was that the Nvidia earnings beat expectations by about $2.1 billion, giving confidence to the market that the AI bubble hasn't popped just yet. And Bitcoin reacted very positively to this, going up to about $92,000 where it's sitting right now. Now, I would expect off this earnings report that the stock market would open up green tomorrow, which would be good for Bitcoin too. But like I said, a lot of it's going to depend on that jobs data that is also released in the morning. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled out for that, and I'll see you guys in the next one.